Welcome to the rest of my life. I'm Lance Ash, heading to work after a 3-day weekend and heading to work 3 minutes late. But that's okay, I got such a big leeway. Oh. Alright, let me get everything straightened out here. I woke up a little late. I had to do all my normal routine in a hurry. Oh dear. Okay, hold on. Alright, first of all, let's see what's in my CD collection here. Alright. There is a German comedy program called Bully. And this is a comedy CD. It's what they call a Hörspiel radio play type thing that they put on CD. This is called Periode 1, Traumschiffe Surprise. It's a takeoff on Star Trek, as if everything in Star Trek was gay. It's sort of infantile and very non-PC by modern American standards, which makes you wonder what modern German culture is like, that they would allow something like this to go on. I haven't really listened to it much because it's so silly and dated. And it's only about 10 years old, really. Alright, this is Donald Fagen's solo record, Sunken Condos, which I love. This is Anthrax Worship Music, which was sort of a comeback record, I guess, with them. I think this was the first original studio album that they did with, since they got back together with Joey Belladonna. And I was shocked at how well he can still sing. And this is Heaven and Hell, The Devil You Know. This is when Dio got back together with Tony Iommi, and they didn't want to call the project Black Sabbath, so they called it Heaven and Hell. This is Tony Iommi's solo record. This is, I believe this is from Mojo Magazine. This is one of their free sampler CDs that comes with an issue. And this one's called The Score. This is, I better let this guy go forward first. Hold on. It's, themes from movie soundtracks, or main songs from movie soundtracks that are all hip and funky and all whatnot. This is Rod McEwen's Greatest Hits number 1, I think. Yeah. And the next one is Rod McEwen Greatest Hits number 2. Rather kitschy. I wish I had all of them. I think there's 4 or 5 of them. Hold on a second. Going around a corner. And then the last one is Captain Beefheart, the Spotlight Kid. I brought this because it has the song Sun Zoom Spark on it. Alright, let's get right to the topics. Alright, first of all, loud music. Last night, I am in my studio painting, and my wife comes barreling in there. Do you hear that noise? Do you hear that racket? What's going on? I said I heard something, but I mean, this is... So anyway, she took off in the car. She's gone for 15-20 minutes. And she said, I found out where the sound is coming from. She said, it's a big party that's out in this road down about 4 miles from here. So anyway, she called the sheriff's department, and nothing went. It just went on and on and on. You could hear it in the distance. This music. And we've had this problem before. So anyway, after a while it started to bother me too. Not so much the music, but the fact that nothing was being done about it. So I took off in my car, and I found, or the same car, but by myself, and found out where it was coming from. Where she told me it was coming from. And nothing happening. So I'm starting to drive back home, and I see the sheriff's deputy drive by. So I call 911 again. I said, I'm here. I saw the sheriff's deputy drive away. She goes, well, we got deputies out going to multiple locations. I said, well, I know where it's at. I'm right here. All right. So I found the deputy, and I said, look, I can show you where it's at. So it's a long dirt driveway through a field, and there's two gates, or two, what would you say? It's a gate at the front of the driveway. And the sheriff's deputy undid the chain, and he drove down in there. And I said, oh, okay, I'm taking off home. So I go home, and the music continues and continues and continues. So I drove over there again. Deputy's gone. Gates are chained back up again. So I call 911 again. What's going on? Music's still going, the deputy's gone. She goes, well, we've determined that the music is coming from the Athens Fairgrounds, and their noise ordinance doesn't kick in till 12, so that's only about another hour. It'll be over soon. Fine. So I didn't believe her. So I drove down the road another mile or so. It's right. You see, where the music where we thought the music was coming from is right on the border with the next county. So I drove over there, and sure enough, the fairgrounds are in effect. They've got just a couple hundred cars full of rednecks over there celebrating whatever. And I had already written the letter to the paper and emailed it to them and all this crap. And my sister had raised hell about it too. And she told me in an email that she had actually accused some people of being, I don't know if she called them and cussed them out or what. But anyway, so I felt like a fool. But the thing is, where we thought the music was coming from was 4 miles away. And we're like, 4 miles away and you can hear it? Well, the fairgrounds are another mile or two beyond that. So to be able to hear the rumble of the bass and actual singing 6 miles away, that's a little ridiculous, don't you think? Oh, Lord. Okay, next topic. What does this say? I can't read the damn thing. What? Oh, simplistic Christian. Yeah, I got into a little argument with somebody on YouTube in the comment section. The video was some standard MSNBC anti-Trump news, and some dude had left a comment that said, "We Americans have forgotten a simple old song that used to bring us all together, Amazing Grace. We should come together in the spirit of compassion," and blah, 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 blah. And I and a couple of other people jumped on, and one guy said, "Are you on drugs?" And I was like, what are you talking about? That's a Christian song. Not all of us are Christians. That's right. Turn right in front of me, you pinhead. So it's back and forth, and then he goes, "Leonard Cohen, born in the same town I was born in. Hallelujah. Blah, 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 blah." What? It reminds me, back when Oprah was still on the air, I don't know what the topic was. I used to watch her show in passing once in a while, and the first half hour is the guest presents the topic or themselves, and in the second half hour the audience gets to chime in. And I don't know what the topic was, but this guy stood up and he said, "Well, I just want to say that if we'd all turn back to Jesus, all of this would go away." And Oprah said, "Yeah, thanks, that's great." And I thought that was just amazing that she said that. I couldn't believe she had the nerve to say that. in response. But anyway, there's a lot of those people around still. All right. Fuck, I need my glasses. Next topic, National Lampoon. All right, for some reason I've been on a National Lampoon kick lately. I got several of the old issues, and I got several spin-off media books and stuff. And I don't know what the point I was going to make when I wrote that down, but I spent 2 days hunting for these 2 paperbacks that I've had for years, and I knew they were in my room somewhere. I knew that they were just staring at me the whole time, and sure enough, I finally found them right in front of me. I just overlooked them. So I'm going through them, right? They're full of short written pieces, and I'm just stunned once again at how much talent was in that magazine. I don't know what else to say about it. I was a Mad Magazine kid growing up from 5th grade onwards. This other kid I met introduced me to the magazine. And but then around, well, not too much later, 8th grade or so, there were 2 bookstores at the mall in town, and when my mother would take us shopping there, I would just go to the bookstore and hang out there until it was time to go home. And I discovered National Lampoon there, and I used to just stand there in the bookstore and look through it and just laugh my ass off at some of it. My mother thought it was a trashy magazine. Let me give you the list of magazines my mother thought were trashy. National Lampoon, Rolling Stone, and Vanity Fair. Being the postmaster of a small town, she would get the opportunity to see these magazines come through the mail, and she would judge them, I guess based on the covers a lot of the time, but on the content too, I suppose. Trashy. When I was in the hospital for my first head surgery, I told her to go get me the latest issue of National Lampoon, and she didn't want to do it because it was trashy, and I sort of guilted her into doing it, and she went and got it. And then, like, later that day or the next day, these 2 guys that I worked with showed up, and one of them had brought me the same issue, and I felt like a chump, a double chump. All right, next topic. Hate my job. Yep, hate my job, that's for sure. Can't remember what I was going to say in detail about it. Waiting for the light. What does this say? Oh, okay, got the next and last topic ready. I hate my job. I can't think. I don't know. It's just a bunch of bullshit, and I hate it. All right, last topic. Sometimes I'll get the opportunity to drive my son to work, and that's pretty much the only chance I have to listen to music with him. And the last time I drove him, we were listening to Kansas, because I'd gotten Kansas's greatest hits recently, and he's like, "Oh, that's pretty good." And I said, I knew he liked Blue Oyster Cult, and I got to talking about that. He's like, "Yeah, this and that is pretty good by them." I said, "Well, look, I know Kiss is sort of a stupid band, but I have a liking for them anyway, even though it's cheesy." I said, "There's a song by them I want to play for you, and the song is Danger off their Creatures of the Night album." So I got to play it for him, and I don't think he thought much of it, but he thought that it was expertly done. And because that was the first record that they did with Eric Carr on drums, and he had such a loud, insistent drum sound. And there's a part in that song near the end where he does this two-beat emphasis, and it's so dynamic. I don't know. You'll have to listen to the song to know what I'm talking about. Kiss is a guilty pleasure. Certainly their 80s material is. It's odd. My father never introduced me to any music. My parents just weren't into collecting music. We had, like a couple of Christmas records. One of them was I think it was from the cosmetics company Avon. It was like Avon presents 12 holiday favorites done by anonymous studio musicians. And we had Reader's Digest 2 album collection of sentimental favorites from the 40s, stuff your grandparents listened to, and we had a Sesame Street record, and I don't understand what that was about. Why do we have such a lack of culture in our house growing up? I wonder where all that crap is at now. I remember there was another Christmas record we had. I don't know what it was, who put it out or whatever, but I remember getting that on Christmas morning and listening to it on this tiny phonograph, which I've still got somewhere, probably consumed by mold by now. Unbelievable. Huh. Well, it was a very, very good weekend. Thursday, I went to see my new endocrinologist. And I thought it was going to be a guy, but it was a young woman from some Arabic place, because her name was Al something. First name was Rashida Al Haram-ish or something. Anyway, and they had said online, if you have trouble understanding her, we have people available to translate for you. And so I was, worried. But she spoke fine. It was no problem at all. And her office was in this medical park that was, we're sitting there. My wife and I are sitting there in the waiting room. And there's nothing to do, so I'm looking around. I'm like, God, this building is so shoddily built. You can see gaps between the crown molding and places where the wallpaper was bubbled up, and it's just really crappy. Oh, me. Anyway, I'd like to get wealthy enough to have new glands grown in a tank and implanted in me, so I don't have to take all these pills anymore. Oh dear. Those 3-day weekends are so nice. But this week will be back to a 5-day week, and it's going to kill me, I can tell you right now. I'm still having trouble with the woman at work, the one that won't, I don't think I've gone over this in detail, but a month ago, I got into a big argument with the supervisor and some other people, and this woman was not in the argument. She was not there, present for it. But in the middle of it, I got so heated, I said something about her. So I thought, oh God, it's going to get back to her. So the next day, I thought, well, I'll go ahead and intercept this. So I bought a bag of candy for her, and I went up, and when she got to work, I confessed, said this happened, and she was not happy about it. She rejected the atonement offer, and she has not spoken to me since. Not willingly. I've tried to talk to her, and she has no interest in talking to me. And I think she's one of these people. I don't know what her background is. I don't know what her childhood was like. But I think she's one of these people that's like, if you betray me in any way, then I just cut you off, and that's the end of it, because I can't trust anybody. Anybody that I can't trust, or anybody that shows any sign of disloyalty, or, that's it. Never give anybody a second chance. Oh, Lord. So I'm still having this tension with her, and it irritates me. It bothers me on multiple levels. And then there's the issue of who is going to be our permanent supervisor. The woman who was being such a little martinet, they moved her and brought this other woman in she's tough, strict, but she's not an asshole about it. You can talk to her on a human level. The other chick, everything you say, doesn't matter what it is, it's an opportunity for her to throw her nose in the air and snap something down at you because I've achieved this higher level proof of my superiority. Yes. So, but anyway, the woman we have working, supervising now, she's fine, but I'm just worried how long this is going to last. They'll move her soon and bring in God knows what. Oh, in a few months, I'll reach 25 years. And, I don't know. What did I say? It's a few more months, I said. I don't know what I said. But anyway, to get the full retirement package, you've got to do 30. And I just don't know. I want to get the damn house paid off, and if I have to, just get another job. I'd rather just, I don't know. I can't take it. I hate this job. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And it's going down the toilet. It's getting worse and worse. But I've listened back to a couple of my old episodes, and I know I've mentioned this before. Well, I guess I better get over. Come on. Oh, somebody in front of me driving 40 miles an hour. Of course. What is wrong with people? What is the issue? Hold on a second. I gotta get back over, get around this asshole. I don't know what else there is to say. I wanted to get the episode up to 20 minutes, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. So anyway, okay, I think that's about it. So see you later. Bye-bye.